Hey, this is the 3 steps of cedar shafts. So many of you guys don't know anything about cedar shafts, why we even have them, the history. But I used to make a lot of my own arrows, but this is the bare cedar shaft that we start out with. And then from that step, it goes to the tapering of the ends for the broadhead or the practice point and the knock in. And then we would paint the ends. That we call that a crest. That's what the feathers would adhere to. And then this is what the 3rd step would look like. With the feathers, the knock glued to the crest, and we glue the ends on the point back here. I just thought that might be interesting because so many of the new archers nowadays will never have a clue of what this meant back in the day right here. Killed a lot of animals with these. My daughter, Jessica, asked me to do a little progression of the arrows that we've kind of been used through the years. Like I say, we started out with a bare cedar shaft, and I showed you how we did that. Put my shafts together. This is an arrow that I made long time ago. It was a traditional shaft. It's all tied together with sinew and glue. There's no metal on it. The only glue is what's holding the sinew on. That knock's actually carved into the arrow. And the broadhead was made by a guy named Norm Blaker. He used to knap his own broadheads. And I killed a deer with this. So the arrow went in right up to there. And that broadhead is held on by the sinew wrapped in glue. Then we got down to the old bare cedar shafts, some wild looking broadheads. I've got some bare broadheads, but that's not one of them. Bill Hammond made this cedar shaft. It's called a Stinger with Zwicky on it. And then we get down into from here you start getting down into, aluminums. And one of the biggest arrows popular back in the day, I keep saying that, was the XX75 Autumn Orange. These things, I can't tell you how many animals and how many targets these things have been in and out of. And then the other second to that was the Game Getter Green, which is a cool arrow because once you shot them, wore all the paint off the front of them, they turned silver on the ends. And then kind of graduated down to the XX75 Eastons when they started coming out with the camo patterns. Jessica must have shot that one. That's got kind of a hook in it. And then from there it went into the carbons, and it all came out, and you come in with these little, we used to call these knit needles because they were so thin. And then kind of the knit needles we call them, didn't really catch on all that great. And it kind of evolved right just down to the regular graphites. Real light, sturdy, and strong. And then, of course, the crossbow arrows were all 2219 aluminum shafts. They were all 2219s when they first came out, 2219s, because they were real stiff and real strong. And then they graduated down to fiberglass, carbon wrapped fiberglass arrows, super light, super strong. And that's just a little history of the arrows. This broadhead right here, the original bare razor head, 4-blade with a detachable bleeder blade. This is the blade that's literally responsible for world records back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. And this is what started modern bow hunting right here, this broadhead right here. Fred Bear did with the Bear Archery Company.